Hello there. Now in this video, the topic of discussion is going to be this. So, in this video, I'm going to cover the lid from this topic of debate that says, should you go for coaching or not, or should you only be focusing on self-studies? Well, see, both of these have their advantages as well as limitations. So we need to have a very concrete view at both of these stuff. We need to critically analyze whether you should probably go for a coaching class or not, because it involves a lot of resources, not just your money, but probably your time as well. So it's a long-term decision and it's a long-term commitment. Once you go ahead, you give your fees. If you're going for a coaching class, it's like a long-term commitment. And once you commit for long-term, you got to decide it before you actually go ahead and take a decision like that. So the decision that you take should be on the basis of a lot of things that you should keep into consideration while taking a long-term decision like that. Well, everybody would suggest going for self-studies, including myself. But then obviously we need to have a quick look at what are the positives that you can get if you're going for self-study. So let's take an inventory of both of these stuff here. So coaching versus self-study. Well, let me go ahead and talk about this first. If you plan to go ahead with coaching, what are the positives that you get if you are going for a coaching? So the immediate positive that you get out of a coaching is probably you get the benefit of taking the knowledge from an expert teacher. So immediately you come in contact with somebody who has been teaching for years, and if he's the expert of this subject, no doubt he can help you. No doubt he knows inside out of your course, inside out of your subject, and he can be of tremendous help. Second is, so you get the expert teacher, you get material. So the material which is provided by the teacher, it's really handy. I mean, it's like they give a lot of thought to it. They spend a lot of time, a lot of energy in creating a marvelous content. And that material that you get out of your coaching class, out of the studies that you do in an institute, this really helps. So you get the expert teacher advices, you get their expert materials, and you also get the benefit of interacting with the fellow students who are appearing for the same exam as you. So there are a lot of things, lot of new things that are happening around. So when you are in touch with your fellow students, you can stay updated with what is happening. All the latest updates. You can. This is great. This works like media for you. So you get all the information then and there from your fellows. So this is what I think are the main key positives of going for a coaching class, if you at all decide to go for one. So like it gives it, you become you come in touch with an expert teacher, you get the expert material, you also get the benefit of interacting with your fellow students. So these are the benefits. But if we are to look at the negatives, I mean there are a lot of negatives as well. So if I were to tell you about some negatives of this, it's like, number one, you get accustomed to spoon feeding. So you don't run your mind at all and you think whatever is being taught to me by the class, that's all you need to do. It's like you too much depend on the teacher. Your dependency on the teacher can actually cost you a lot in the long run, not just in clearing an exam, but probably as a part of your personality. You become too much accustomed to spoon feeding, and that is really, really harmful. Second thing is, you got to take into consideration the time involved. The time which is involved, the time once you move out of your house, you reach your coaching class, you spend time there, and then you come back. So it's a big factor. It's a big factor which must be taken into consideration if you're going for a coaching class. This is probably the key, I would say. More than anything else, this is the key. Are you ready to trade your time with a coaching class? That's a big question that you need to answer. And the third thing is, of course, the money which is involved. Are you ready to shell that sort of money? So these probably are the negatives, I would say. These are the negatives of going for one. These are the negatives that I find, especially the time, because it consumes a lot of time. So what should we do? Should we go for a coaching class or should we not go for a coaching class? Well, having considered all the positives and the negative, and I'm sure you can add a lot more to this list, but this is the major ones that I think I would include in my discussion. So having given a due thought to the negatives as well as the positives, should we go for a coaching class or not, is something that I'm going to tell you here out of my experience and the experiences that are being shared with me by a lot of toppers, by a lot of students who have done exceedingly well. So coaching versus self-study. Understand one thing. If you are going for coaching, understand one thing. Coaching. Now, if you talk about guarantee of success, in spite of everything, in spite of the expert teachers, in spite of best material, in spite of everything, a coaching would never ever give you guarantee of success. Would it give you? If you spend 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakh, 50 lakh rupees on a coaching, will they give you the guarantee that you are going to succeed in your exam, that you will become a topper? Absolutely not. So a coaching class can never guarantee your success. They can only help. But can self-study guarantee your success? Think about it. Can self-study guarantee your success? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. So if you are doing self-study, and if you are doing self-study in a proper way, definitely it can give you guarantee of success. So this is the key here. This is the key. I guess this is what can help you help you to take the right decision. Your self-study is going to help you. Your coaching can help you, but it can never give you guarantee of success. Now, what do you do? What do you do? My suggestion is that self-study, I feel that self-study is probably 70% and your coaching is probably 30%. This is what I feel. Out of 100%, if 100% is required to succeed in your course, I feel it's probably because 70% the reason of your success would 70% would owe to your self-study and 30% would owe to the coaching that you have taken. That means this can survive without this, but this cannot survive without this. Listen to me again. This is really interesting, isn't it? Self-study can survive without this and can give you guarantee of success, but your coaching cannot give you guarantee of success and it cannot survive without self-studies. It's like you will fail if you are only relying on your coaching class. That's a big consideration. I mean, if I wish somebody could tell me when I was a student these concepts, because at that time I didn't know anything. Over the course of my life, I've understood this from a lot of communications and discussions that I've had with a lot of academicians, teachers, professors, students, and then probably I think that this cannot survive in isolation with self-study. So self-study is a must, but if in case you are going for 100%, if you want to target 100%, this plus this can be a game changer. So I feel that if you are going for a coaching class, plus if you give a self-study, or if you are going for self-study, plus if you add it up with the coaching class, you get 100% output. It can literally be the game changer. So my suggestion is, if you can afford and if you still have time for your exams, go for a coaching class. And if you go for a coaching class, do not underestimate the importance of self-studies. You cannot just rely on your coaching class, because if you are thinking of relying on this, you are not going to even get passing marks out of it. Because I know a lot of students who make this mistake. They spend a lot of money on expensive coachings, and they believe that their time and their money is going to bring the results that they are expecting. It is never going to happen. Never, I'm saying. So don't make this mistake of only and only considering one stuff, right? So this is what you need to do. This is the key. This is the key. This is what you need to focus on. This gives you 30%, 70%, and eventually you become a success with the help of an expert teacher. Now, this is precisely what I would suggest here in these videos as well. I am here to help you. I am sharing my knowledge, my content with you, but unless and until you put it into self-practice, unless and until you put it into action, it's not going to work. Understanding is here. You need to, bring it out in your actions as well if you really want to succeed. Well, that was it. That was the big debate, coaching versus self-studying, and which one should you opt for. I think the debate is now over. My personal view is this. Thank you so much for watching.